Hello everyone, this is Crota coming at you, giving you game 1 in a series. This is going to be Night Elf versus random CoolXian versus Th000. You see CoolXian spawning as the red Night Elf player on the bottom left-hand side of the map. Gonna go ahead and speed this up until the 2-minute mark. Meanwhile, Th000 getting random into Undead. This may actually be a little bit of an uphill climb for him. I'm not quite sure how much Th000 knows of in terms of the undead openings, as we are looking at a Death Knight with a whole bunch of ghouls to open. Meanwhile, on the far side of the map, you can see Ancient of War already creeping alongside an archer. Demon Hunter is there. And what does that mean? It means that Demon Hunter will be getting to level 2 rather quickly. Gonna go ahead and try to pick up some items. The Troll Trapper, there it is. There's the Claws of Attack +6 as the Ice Troll does get taken down. Meanwhile, Death Knight making its way quickly over. Gonna go after this 4-3-3 creep camp. Could perhaps go after that Troll High Priest first. And the reason why you death coil that Troll High Priest is you want to make sure he cannot get off too many ice armors. That ice armor, an additional +3 armor, in addition to slowing down your opponent in terms of their attacks, and that damage does tend to add up very quickly. Let's take a look at this ghoul. Ghoul down to 100 hit points as it is now backing away. Demon Hunter may actually get a free ghoul or two if he can respond in time, and that ghoul does have its days pretty much numbered. Already down to 25 hit points. There it goes. A little bit of an unfortunate break for Th000 as he gets caught creeping. Th000 now trying to move down with this Acolyte. Acolyte now need to turn around and make its way back off to the north. An attempt to at least stay alive, but this Demon Hunter has gotten a lot of early kills, and that early kill advantage is going to start to take its toll. You can see a bit of a level advantage already, and this is just not looking good for Th000. You can see Th000 trying to run around with this one particular Acolyte. Oh, Immolation now being brought in, and the buildings of Th000 actually being used against him. Now, Th000, he is playing random. I'm not exactly sure why he chose random instead of human in this matchup, unless he was forced to play random in order to, I guess, make things a bit more even. The Demon Hunter now taking or dealing a whole bunch of damage. Let's see, another Acolyte could get taken down. There is a Death Coil to try and save it, as the Demon Hunter is now pretty much out of mana. There is a mana burn, and it is going to go ahead and Scroll of Town Portal away right as the Nerubian Tower does in fact start. A handful of archers were shadow meld across the map. There is a wisp sitting right there, offering a very narrow look at what is going on down this pathway. Yes, line of sight, definitely possible. Well, definitely possible here, as I am a little bit blabbering. I'm going to try to slow things down a bit and refocus myself, as the day has been rather long. All right, the Death Knight Th000 sitting at level 2 here, and he is gonna just try and, I guess, slow things down a bit. That would be my suggestion to him. If he does not slow things down, he'll end up taking a lot more damage, and the Demon Hunter and the Night Elf army will just snowball even faster. He needs to play it a little bit safe, pick and choose his fights, and make sure that he is engaging in favorable locations. You can see 29/40 supply compared to 22/30. That is how much of an advantage the Night Elf army currently has, as we see another mana burn go down. All right. Archer about to get taken down over there. Is it going to get taken down? Yes, it does, as a ghoul may get taken out in the process as well. That Death Knight, the Death Knight trying to get in between, and it does get in between, and beautifully done in an attempt to save this one low hit point ghoul. You take those minor victories and you try to turn them into an overall game victory here. So just win the battle, one battle at a time, until you win the war. Well, let's take a look at what's happening here. Graveyard, Crypt, and Halls of the Dead all coming into play. Meanwhile, Death Knight, opting to get to level 3, is going to be creeping extremely fast. And what did he end up dropping? He dropped a Mantle of Intelligence, and now this is a problem that I'm sure Th000 rarely ever had as a human player. He's actually out of item slots, as he's being forced to use or hold onto those Rod of Necromancies because they are just that good. coming back around, let's take a look at this. Death Knight, along with those ghouls, making a bit of a push. They could be creeping out this Goblin Merchant shop off to the north to try and get to level 3. Or, excuse me, I believe level 4 now. But that would not be a very, very wise investment of time. Level 4 does not give you that much. On top of that, the amount of time and energy it takes to actually creep to get to level 4 is a significant amount, and during that time your opponent's level 1 second hero may get to level 2 or level 3, giving them a significant advantage over you. Demon Hunter now attempting to perhaps just corral this Death Knight. Meanwhile, the Panda is down off over here getting to level 2. And if we are not careful, if Th000 is not careful, he may end up over-investing into ghouls, only to see them get taken out in an instant. We can see that we are going into double gargoyles now off of double crypts, which is exactly what the Panda is there to try and counter. Pandas do have that breath of fire that does in fact hit air. Not only does it hit air, it does a significant amount of damage to units that are all just stacked up on top of each other. Panda now sitting at level 2. You can see a skeletal minion is down over here. He does spot the Panda as the Ancient of Wonders finishes off that one skeletal minion. So far, Demon Hunter sitting at level 2 has a Staff of Teleportation. Demon Hunter trying to take down additional ghouls, and it looks like they are just going to be able to head back freely. Meanwhile, Panda attempting to engage here. You can see that there are Dryads and Gargoyles. Alright, the Archers are actually significantly effective against those units, as we now see an Ensnare go down onto a Gargoyle. A big loss there, as now the Ancient of War is taking a lot of damage. Alright, poor Death Knight now trying to back away. There is a Shade keeping track of this army. As you see, the Ancient of War does get taken down. Alright, Demon Hunter sitting at 2, Panda sitting at 2, Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire, a lot of slowed units, and it looks like Panda and the Demon Hunter are just simply ignoring the Gargoyles and going after the ground units instead. Now, I do not highly recommend this, especially if you have high valuable targets such as the Druid of the Claw, who only has 500 hit points. At some point, we need to see Orb of Venom on the Demon Hunter and on perhaps the Panda to try and combat these Gargoyles. That Gargoyle damage is just going to start to get extremely high here in just a moment, as we now see a bit of slowing coming down. The Death Knight trying to run away. Is it going to be able to get away? Yes, it looks like it will be able to do exactly that with the help of that Unholy Aura. The Druid of the Claw trying to sneak its way into the front, unable to do so, as you now see the Naga Sea Witch getting mana burned here. Staff of Teleportation, that Demon Hunter able to teleport back home after suffering a wee bit of damage. And now has picked up that all-important Orb of Venom that I was talking about. Orb of Venom, allowing the Demon Hunter to hit air. Those Gargoyles are going to have a very difficult time now, since the Demon Hunter does deal initial damage and damage over time with that Orb of Venom. There's a quick mana burn now coming in. Are we going to see the Demon Hunter trying to make its way over? And this is not a good spot for it to be, actually getting cold arrowed. The Death Knight, however, pretty much out of mana, unable to death coil the Demon Hunter, which would have brought it into the red. Dryads, Bears, Panda, now all working together. Where are they going to be traveling off to next? They could perhaps engage the Death Knight and the Gargoyles here, as the Naga Sea Witch is looking for a very strong, big push. We are looking at the Demon Hunter now pulling its way back. Is it going to try and re-engage? I don't believe so, as both sides just playing a little bit passively, not playing that aggressive, as they don't want to make any mistakes. And this is where I'm actually wondering what the Night Elf is really planning to do here. He needs to engage and engage strong, and no, instead we see that Th000 is actually doing a bit of a strange engagement here. Is he going to be able to make it out? It looks as though Breath of Fire taking on a handful of Gargoyles. That was a very big blow there, as we now see the Naga Sea Witch going to take a bit of damage. Alright, Naga Sea Witch, it looks like it is going to go down. There it goes. Panda now sitting at level 3. Naga Sea Witch has been taken on at level 1 as the Demon Hunter is engaging here. The bears, the dryads, the panda dealing so much damage, and that orb of venom really starting to take its toll. As you see, those gargoyles are going to be taking damage over time as they are attempting to get away. Another mana burn onto the obsidian statue. Damage is being dealt. Let's take a look at this. Demon Hunter trying to chase down those gargoyles, but those gargoyles are far too fast as they are in fact flying. Alright, you see the attack here. Ghoul now coming back over to try and intercept the Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter trying to get in some extra shots here. And this actually may be a very bad spot for this Demon Hunter to be in. Down to 105 hit points. Oh, whoa, Staff of Teleportation. And it was simply let go. The Death Knight and the Gargoyles may have had enough time to actually take him down before he finished teleporting home. If that Demon Hunter was taken out, that would really set back the Night Elf army and trying to figure out what to do next. Th000 sitting with his Death Knight. Meanwhile, the Night Elf sitting with his Panda and his Demon Hunter, hoping to continue to level up and get to level 4 on the Demon Hunter, and, well, probably just 4 on the Demon Hunter right now, as the Panda is just too far back. Ogre Lord has been taken down. Mana Store, or the Health Stone, could go ahead and pick that up. Nasha Storm Stout definitely needs that item, and he does pick it up. Meanwhile, back down over here, the Naga Sea Witch and the Death Knight really biting off a bit more than they could chew, being forced to retreat here, and the Demon Hunter is just having some easy fun with this poor Naga Sea Witch. Alright, Naga Sea Witch now in a bit of trouble, taking a lot of damage here. Cold Arrow not enough, as the Naga Sea Witch may end up getting taken down. Alright, it looks like another blow. Oh, no, not done, as the Demon Hunter able to somehow slice the Naga Sea Witch through that Death Knight, as we're still fighting our way through here. What's going on next? Death Knight now making its way back to the 3 o'clock location. Panda, Demon Hunter now making their way around. Gonna go ahead and get slowed down a bit here once more, as the Demon Hunter wants to clean up some skeletal minions. Back over here, Gargoyles making their way, and the Death Knight may get to level 4 here if they try to be very aggressive. One good thing about those Gargoyles is that they are not taking any damage from this Ogre Lord creep camp, as the Death Knight gets to level 4, but I'm not quite sure what it actually took out. Meanwhile, you can see that the Night Elf player has in fact gotten to his expansion. And now, with the Night Elf sitting on an economic expansion and a significant hero advantage, I gotta say that Th000 really needs to make some magic happen here in order to get back into this game. Th000 does have a large bunch of gargoyles, but those gargoyles may not be able to handle the army, as we see that there are a large number of dryads. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look. Gargoyles now putting pressure onto the ground mercenaries at the Goblin Merchant Shop. Death Knight is rather low on hit points. Yes, he does have a Ring of Regeneration and Unholy Aura level 2, but that still may not be enough damage reduction, as we see the Troll Trapper now taken down. Alright, Dryads going and up against the Necropolis here. Why is there a second Necropolis? I have absolutely no idea, as the Black Citadel is back over there. Meanwhile, Crypt is taking a whole bunch of damage. Are we going to be seeing the Death Knight, Obsidian Statues, and the Naga Sea Witch come in with that very strong push now? Alright, Cold Tower coming off of that Black Citadel. You can see the Black Citadel doing very little piercing damage, but it does add up over time, even against a Panda with that hero type armor. Alright, Obsidian Statue now looking to pull all the way back here. Are we going to re-engage? The Gargoyles look to perhaps take down a handful of units here. This is going to be a very easy defend up until the Panda gets off a Breath of Fire. Once the Breath of Fire goes down, all of a sudden those Gargoyles are now a bit more in the orange than they were just a few seconds ago. Rejuvenation onto the bear. We see a Drunken Haze, and now do we see a Breath of Fire though? I don't see one as of yet, as we are still looking at a bit of damage here. So far, there is the GG, and Th000 ends up losing game number 1 in this series. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed game 1. Please stay tuned for game number 2 between CoolXian and Th000.